Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with the VRS GT3 series for the all new 2023 Season 2. Now, as you've probably read by the title, this is probably going to be one of the most competitive races in the early stages of this season. Of course, week 1, you tend to get a few more people that want to show up and do more things in week 1. The all-new GT3 changes as well, of course, have drummed up even extra interest. It's then also the real-life Sebring weekend now. I've actually got the 8-hour race, or the 1000, currently on my laptop just out of view. And, of course, it's the 12 hours inside iRacing next weekend, so everyone's trying to get practice in. There's going to be a lot of Sebring content on the channel over the next few days, and pretty much all of it is going to be done in this, the Audi R8 LMS. Undecided whether this is going to be the car I continue on with throughout the entirety of this season. Starting P15 as the number 28 car there was very, very happy, considering I only was able to get one qualifying lap in. But yeah, 40 minutes ahead of us though to kickstart, I guess I'm calling it Super Sebring Week, because yeah, you're going to get very, very bored of this track very, very quickly there. But rounding out the final corner, if you're new around here, make sure you get yourself subscribed, leave a like as well for more iRacing content. And it is go then to start 2023 Season 2 here in the VRS. Like I said, haven't decided for definite whether I'm going to be running the Audi every week, but it's what my teammates want to use for the 12 hours, so, you know, I've got most of the GT3 cars. I'm sure I can adapt to it fairly quickly there. It's through turn 1, all nice and tidy.
On your left.
Lamborghini on my inside. Ooh.
Still
there just slows down as, yeah, really struggle with the FPS still early on these races. Oh, Mark's gone for a spin there. Don't know if that was induced by contact or what, so that'll be a freebie for us early on. And yeah, I think what I need to do is disable or lower how many cars I've got showing up on the sim. I think that's what's wrecking my FPS early on there, as again Lamborghini desperately wants to try and make moves early on in this race. We'll try and hook it up around the outside, but I'm not sure we're going to find much grip out there. We do get a 0x for contact, certainly didn't feel anything, and he has made it through then. Carlos clearly not happy with his qualifying and wants to try and shift his way up the order. Of course, I've done a fair few practice laps. You know, I'm going to get a lot more practice in, ready for the 12 hours next weekend, but really looking forward to it. Of course, Daytona to kickstart the year went quite well. Then, yeah, a bit of bad luck during the Bathurst 12 hours, and then I did actually the Creventic Spa endurance race a couple of weekends ago as well, and that didn't unfortunately go to plan either, but still working with the same lads. We've got some special things in the works that I'm excited to showcase with you, but we don't really want to rush anything just yet. You know, we sort of want to get the basics down and things like that. But yeah, a little bit of a group project that I'm hoping some of you are really going to love as well. But all will be revealed in due course. There's our Lambo in front of me. Got to be so careful on that exit curb there. It will really throw the car out if you tip, of course, because what happens is you get one wheel on the grass, cuts the traction control, and therefore the other half of the car, the other wheels, are spinning way quicker, and you tend to find yourself spinning towards the inside wall there. Lando, though, desperate not to lose the place back to me as we head out of the final corner. I think we're still exactly where we started. I think we gained one, lost one on that opening lap. There we go, P15 still, so no harm, no foul. We've kept the car clean and tidy. That, of course, is always the priority. 0x as well, of course. That's going to be a... No, it's not going to be a 1x. We got away with that. As Audi now going to have a look to my inside.
Hold your line.
Leave the door open. Oh, there's more puffs of smoke just up the road.
Clear left side.
So Audi are still going to try and be there. That's another one gone. And it seems like I'm going to gain a place from my car spinning there, but then lose a place every time around, still battling there. Have been able to keep the nose up the inside of our fellow Audi as we head down this little back straight. Down in towards the hairpin we go. Both going to try and go late on the brakes, but I am later. Still going to get slowed down into the apex. This thing is very good at stopping on a dime there, and you can't actually get it rotated, of course, where the engine is strapped to the back, or mid-engine technically, I know, but it does, of course, mean you can allow the body to roll into a corner, and you've got that rotation because the weight isn't there. So now we have actually gained a place then early on in this race. Of course, you know, standard VRS race 40 minutes, so 20 laps in these GT3 cars. Of course, we're always just hanging around that 2-minute threshold. A few quick drivers did get sub 2 minutes in qualifying. I think I set a 2-minute.6, which I was quite happy with. But yeah, let me know as well down in the comments below. I'm thinking, I've been looking through the data in recent times. I think, honestly, leaving the qualifying laps in uncommented is kind of ruining the retention too early on in the video, so I'm going to try leaving them out for a few weeks, of course. You know, each 2 minutes of silence early on in the video, yeah, just obviously does not do the YouTube algorithm any favours, but yeah, a bit of a shame. But let me know, of course, if there's desperate, huge mass appeal for the qualifying laps to return. I know some of you really like sort of seeing me really focus and trying to get a lap on the board there. As there we go, leaders already down into the 59s. It is a very, very cool track here this evening at Sebring. You can see
stay on it. This isn't over yet.
The clouds very, very overcast as well. Of course, it's getting, I wouldn't exactly call it dark, but certainly we're heading into the evening, as that will be a 1X that time round. The Audi again.
We've been warned about track limits. Car left.
That time round, I'm not going to make it so easy for him. It was a bit too far back for me to feel like it warranted a free send to the inside, as we got another car apparently gone somewhere. Can't quite see where they've gone, so it might have been one behind me, but we got a second in front, 8/10 to the car behind. Let's just focus up, try and get some laps under our belt, try and close up to this group again. Maybe a top 10 could be possible today. Of course, for those of you unaware as well, the new changes to the GT3 cars on iRacing, as I think this lap is, no, it's not quite going to be into the 59s.
That's the fastest lap
2
of the
minute
race.
0.4, so quicker than I was able to do in qualifying. But yeah, some changes to the GT3 cars, the way the slipstream and the dirty air works, have meant that these races are going to be a lot more sort of single file. Of course, it has also meant that it's highly likely if you want to make moves, you're going to have to go for dive bombs. As soon as I'm talking about single file, another Audi gone down at turn 4 there. Really does seem to be a problem corner early on in this race. Perhaps cars are going side by side on the way in and just tripping over each other, but that's going to boost myself up into unlucky P13. Carlos up the road having a look at the inside. They're almost losing to the back of the Ferrari. I've just got to be a little bit careful about where that Lamborghini was going to come back, you know. Always going to try and get the nose in there where I can. But, that being said, of course, you know, you've got to be very, very careful you don't get said nose chopped off, as, unfortunately, yeah, I do feel like, you know, clear air, of course, very, very confident, but I feel like I've got some aggressive drivers around me that aren't necessarily quicker than me, but much more willing just to send it, take a punt. And, of course, I want to get to the end of these races, funnily enough. I think everyone does, but, of course, you've still got some drivers that expect you to be the one to jump out of the way there. But, yeah, of course, the slipstream has been massively, massively reduced, not only in the GT3s, but also in the LMP2s as well, as far as I'm aware. I don't know what other cars have been affected by it, but, of course, it now just means that you just don't gain much down the straights. I mean, look at this as a perfect example. I couldn't have timed that better if I tried. We are gaining a tiny, tiny bit. That will just pull out the slipstream so I can actually look where the next corner is. But yeah, your only real chance now is apparently try to go around the outside through Sunset, which was never actually my intention there, but we were going for it anyway. Or, of course, just get a big, big slingshot off the corners. But Carlos seems to be a lot quicker than Christian, so we might see Christian just drop off the back of this train ever so slightly there. He's going for much later apexes, but he is actually gathering the car up quite nicely. We'll see if we find an avenue, but I'm not going to try. As soon as I say that. Whoa, come on, mate. Get on with it. Almost into the back of him there. That must have been very, very close. Under the rear wing of that Lambo. Of course, identical power units in these cars, or engines even, I should say. They're pretty similar cars, pretty much from the ground up. But that one's got a Lamborghini badge and a body kit on it. This is just the boring old German Audi. Ooh, that is my second 1X.
Just cut the track.
I think there's some contact up the road. Carlos trying to have a look at the inside of Wolf there at the final corner. Also, we've just got to be careful that I don't run out towards that wall, and Carlos will be forced into submission that time. Clearly still trying to push the envelope early on in this race. Are we going to be able to try and capitalise on all this? Of course, you know, Sebring's such an old school circuit. I find it fascinating. Of course, this place has never, ever been entirely resurfaced since it was first assembled back in, I think it was 1962. So, yeah, certainly, of course, concrete slabs were originally used to build this place, so hence why it's incredibly, incredibly bumpy.
Half fuel. You've used half your fuel.
Actually, you won't be able to see it because, of course, I should have the third-person TV cameras up blocking it, but yeah, normally your force feedback around here is clipping like a madman a lot of the time. As yeah, whoa, the Lamborghini's, sorry, the Audi even still got a bit of bite to it. If you try and upset it there, that's going to push us back ever so slightly. Lucky to hang on to that one. Just going to sit half defensive from the guy behind, who again thinks about it, but we can break later down around the outside there. Yeah, this Audi will still absolutely... Oh! Which way are you going? Which way are you going? That way. Whew, that was close. Ferrari might need a new pair of under trousers, but the rest of us have survived that one. Tiny bit of contact there, but it will promote us now into P12. As that Lamborghini then, of Carlos, is the car separating us from the top 10. I think Wolf might have been collected that he's just left the session. I think it might have actually been the guy that was directly behind me. I think it might have been Gustavo. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. You see so many names on iRacing that you never quite know who's gone where. But 5 laps left of fuel then, and now it seems like Carlos maybe picked up a little bit of aero damage from that incident. Maybe just has taken a bit too much out of his tyres early on. I think it is Gustavo. I can still see that bright green Audi just about in Maria Mirror.
Got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Carlos is definitely starting to struggle here. Maybe it's just a characteristic of the Lambo. Yeah, I'm going to be able to send it from half a second back at my crew chief, as that was very, very wide. Just getting out of line slightly there. As yeah, obviously, I'm actually going to try for the first time ever the all-new auto fuel feature here on iRacing. I see no way in which this goes wrong when it gives me no fuel and I have to retire because I've got nothing in the tank. Not that I'm a pessimist or anything on the sim, but we'll see. Anyway, far more importantly than that though, because we've got 5 laps to deal with that, I've got to try and find the way around these pair of Lambos. Carlos and Christian still duking it out. I mean, in the perfect world, I'll obviously jump them both in one go, but sadly this is not a perfect world. We'll wait and see what happens there. As away we go. Christian shows the nose to the inside. Carlos again having absolutely none of it. Runs himself a bit deep through sunset. Will Christian be able to get the hook up off the corner? He will be hassling him as they head back down in towards someone there. Carlos desperate to defend the inside as we head down in towards first apex. We've just got to be careful and make sure I keep hitting my marks. Are we going to be able to get down the inside of Christian there through turn 1? No, I think we'll sit back for now. We'll just show the nose. Oh, he's going to send it up the inside of Carlos. Carlos just about gives him the room. I don't think he actually meant to do that, to be completely honest. I think he was just worried about defending from myself. But this is allowing the cars behind to close in a bit more, so we need to find an avenue. Carlos again running very, very wide through that final corner. Christian again trying to hold quite a tight line, and I've tried to do a bit of a hybrid of the pair of them to see if I can get the run out of the final turn there. Again though, nothing happening. Christian's going to show the nose to the inside. I'm just going to back out of that one. I didn't know who was going to be the first one to lift, whether either of them would, or if I go into the back of one of them. It's getting very, very frantic early on here. We're pretty much at the halfway stage of this race. Of course, I do so many longer races now on iRacing. NASCAR Cup Series, Mercedes AMG Challenge, all that good stuff. But I'm getting to the weird point now where a 40-minute VRS race doesn't actually feel that long. I mean, it's not in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, the fact we're already halfway through this, you know, normally still in those sorts of races I'd still be in the settling down phase. I'm loving them. Would highly recommend you checking them out. Of course, NASCAR just something so different to what I normally do, but I absolutely do love the series, and you know, I would love to be able to watch it more if the times worked out. And of course, Formula 1, you know, huge fan of, and the Ultimate Challenge, obviously trying to hook up the W13 on iRacing. Of course, the VIR race that went live a couple of days ago, late race battle with my good friend and colleague James Early. That was certainly one for the ages there. Just gutted for him the way it ended up, but we had a good laugh afterwards still. So yeah, that one was really funny. But yeah, like I said, we're going to try and do a few different series on iRacing this season. Of course, GT3 is probably going to remain a staple on this channel. Of course, you know, just so popular on iRacing, you can pretty much always get a good race out of them. I still fancy GTE or GTLM, whichever one you want to call it. They're just so cool. I'm going to miss them when they're gone as well in real life.
20 minutes remaining.
You know, I just sort of feel like, you know, 2023 is meant to be the last year of GTE cars as well, so I kind of want to celebrate that as well wherever possible. But, you know, I'm looking at a few other projects as well. I don't know why I've done second gear there. So there we go, Christian into the pits then, so clearly he's going for a half and half strategy. This might allow Carlos and I to try and run up the road a bit more. But yeah, Porsche Cup I'm looking at, and I'm even potentially looking at trying to jump in with some prototypes. You know, speaking to Cam, obviously one of the guys I race with, we're sort of looking at that BMW LMDH going, you know, that could be quite a laugh to try and jump in with a bit more. I might take the step up through LMP2 first of all, just to try and get a bit more sort of race ready for those GTPs. But we've got 2 laps worth of fuel. Martin at the front has disconnected, so that might be another free place for us. That must be heartbreaking for him, but let's just focus on trying to make sure we get to the pit window. There we go. We're going to see Carlos into the pits as well then, and a handful of other cars, so slowly gaining some spots. First time all day will be inside the top 10.
7th position.
By the looks of it, I'm to 8th, and then I think now it is 7th.
Seconds.
So I think I'm going to have to
Very
box
little
at the
fuel
end of
left.
this lap.
Coming to the pits at the end of this lap.
Crew chief confirming that is the case. Let's try and go for a really good in lap, obviously on this low fuel, effectively now a qualifying lap. We'll top up the tank. Oh, that is not the line. We'll top up the tank, but we won't take tyres. We're on a square off that run, heading down out of the penultimate corner, but as we head down in towards sunset, you never guess where it got its name, would you?
The leader is pitting
as we
now. 2
down
litres
into
remaining.
that final turn. This game only reckons 9.3 gallons worth of fuel is going to be needed. Probably. Well, I'm going to trust it this once on iRacing and see just how accurate this new fuel system is. Careful on the way into the pits.
Pit lane speed limit
Match
is
the brake as well there,
kilometers
as well.
per
Actually,
hour.
I don't want to take everything out of these tyres. Of course, I'm not going to put a fresh set on. So yeah, we'll top up the car with fuel. I don't actually know whether it'd be, you know, whether you lose much time by putting fresh tyres on or anything like that. There is our box. Just make sure I get it slowed down nicely, and we will put some more fuel in there. I don't know why as well. I don't know if someone knows in the comments below. It could really help me out. Why now my wheel rattles when I'm in the pit lane? It never used to be an issue on iRacing, but now it is for some reason. So whenever it's just stood still, or obviously the car and the steering rack straight, it just starts rattling.
Remaining, 15 minutes to go.
I don't know if it's force feedback settings or what, but if you do know, let me know down in the comments below, because it's just annoying. Because I don't feel like I've tweaked anything, but certainly something has changed there, as we are actually going to come out in the pit lane. And we have got the jump on Carlos then, so was not expecting that. Of course, our tyres are going to be a little bit cool, but certainly shouldn't be cold just yet. And I think, yeah, that's worked out really nicely for us then. That's not so much. I might just give him back the place for free. No, I think he's messed up as well. So we've jumped Carlos and Christian then in that pit window up to 3x. Would like to keep that ideally below 5 come the end of this race, but let's get on with it then and see what more we can try and get. So the sun's starting to set here from Sebring. Just under 15 minutes worth of racing to go. And look at that then, Peter, who was behind me, now has got the jump on me as well. So clearly the overcut has been the way to go around this venue. I don't know how he's been able to extend that extra lap that he's got out of the tank there, as well as a little bit of shuffling around going on just in front of me there. Just careful not to run out into that sand pit again. We are still though in 10th place in this race. It's actually a blue flag car that is in the way there. Ilya just trying to get out of other cars' ways. Hopefully they can give me a little bit of slipstream as well. But yeah, we're into that top 10 then, which is obviously where I wanted to be. Let's see what more we can get here late on in the day. We'd like a little, you know, a little SR hit and iRacing hit, you know, just kickstart the year in the right way after that Clio Cup race. Come on in, Ilya, get out of the way. Gaining. As we head down the back straight, hopefully they will shift away through sunset. Not really helpful. Throw some cones at me whilst you're at it and have a nice crash on the way out. Oh, I was just a little bit off-putting. I know, of course, they haven't actually affected me at all. When you watch a car slide off the road in front of you, it always just upsets your rhythm slightly, and he's gone. But yeah, now we've got to try and close in on Peter. Would help if I downshift at T1.
Good consistency.
10 minutes worth of racing just over to go. 4 cars still right there. But like the pace has come on quite nicely as this race has developed. Which is of course what I wanted, and hopefully will continue to happen as we get ready for the 12 hours. Well, Peter and Ivan are absolutely going at it at the moment. Peter's looking for moves. At corners, I didn't even think moves were possible around this venue. You can see their switches back to the inside, but he's kind of showing the nose. But I don't think he's actually ever committed to the move there. It's this lap up to that corner have been really, really good as well. Yeah, seems like, you know, there's still a lot of battles to be left in this race. And like I said, I was a little bit worried. You know, I'd seen obviously a lot of stuff on Twitter about the downforce changes and everything like that, as that is not the line out of there. Might be able to gather it up nicely as the Ferrari makes a bit of a mistake. Ivan now is going to be under big pressure by Peter as we head down in towards the final corner. I've actually not done too badly with the run, and we'll get a nice double slipstream to help us out as well. To the inside goes Peter. Oh, they're so close. How do they not come together? They do come together as we head through the final turn. I wanted to try and get a run on Ivan as well, potentially off the corner, but he will not be happy.
The gap behind is now
as we'll just
2.4.
sit behind for now. He might show the nose
Fastest lap.
in towards turn 1. Just show the nose, see if we can unsettle him slightly, but clearly not perturbed just yet. As you can see, another big wobble on the exit of turn 1. But Peter's through. Can I join him? Didn't want to do that. Guessing that'll be a car behind me. I mean, that is impressive. 25x in 34 minutes. You've got to have ended up, you know, a couple of really unlucky 4x's and things like that. But yeah, someone's been DQ'd. Like I said, I'm guessing they're behind me. Crew chief just told me I'm still in 10th, but what does he know? Spends most of his time lying now on iRacing. I swear this was never a problem back in the old days. So, that's going to be another 1x up to 4. Come on, keep it clean, Matt. Especially around there, very risky as here we are. The last lap was new PB. This one definitely isn't, but I need to get closer to Ivan again.
You've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining. That's 5 minutes to go.
Almost nicked the wall though, heading through Sunset. That is going to really cost his run at the final corner there. Not only did he almost hit the wall, but he also then got very unsettled as we'll swoop to the outside down to turn 1 there. Neither of us getting anywhere near the apex, but we still should be able to get the run. Whoa, off the corner as he's going to cut to the inside there. Very late manoeuvre to the inside. We'll try and hook it up.
Clear left.
Summary, mate, but apparently he doesn't want to. Had to mount over the curbing to make sure we didn't come together there. And again, he's going to get a bad run off the corner. He's going to try and defend everything he possibly can in towards the hairpin. He is under pressure now in this race as we will have a look to the outside. I'll break late on the brakes, try and switch him though through the hairpin, but weirdly enough, actually being on the inside there often gives you quite a good run. As to the outside we'll look. Fortunately just bogged down at exactly the right place that didn't allow me to go for anything. We'll have a look. Whoa, to the inside. Whoa, it's getting really aggressive with the defending there. Some big late changes. I can see why now Peter is having to try and show the nose everywhere. Again, we'll get underneath him off the corner.
Clear right.
Squeeze me. Slow in, fast out. I don't think we've been able to do anything that time around. Of course, this battle as well will likely mean that we don't even get a look in at P8 by the end of this race, but probably 2 laps to go after this one. This battle might rage on right to the checkered flag there. It's just got to try and make sure that we get the run off of this turn. He's going very quick in, but often is compromising his run out there as we bounce over that curbing quite nicely, actually. You can nick the curbing on the way in there, and as long as you get it settled down over the second curb on the way out, you can actually get a pretty decent run from it still as we head down in towards Sunset. Once again, just too far back to really do anything sensibly. But can we try and get a run out of Sunset Bend there? You can see again he's not confident off the corner. Oh, I rub up against the wall that time around. Don't want to do that too often around this circuit. Slap the tyre wall ever so slightly. I think we got away with it though. It was only a 0x. But yeah, definitely don't want to be doing that again, as perhaps he wasn't so slow through that corner. Perhaps I was incredibly optimistic. Let's not give up though. Rene has lost the place to Peter up the road.
Yellow flag. We think P5 has binned it in tower.
Someone's had issues. Might be another freebie for us. This is a car definitely running slowly. Oh, he's going to come out right near us. Come on, we've got to get round him. It's Mikel, and we will just about swoop through. One more lap to go after this one though, and we're still trying to apply pressure, but now we might get some pressure from a feisty car behind there. So you can see again Ivan wobbling that Ferrari over the curbs. It does not handle the curbs like the old GTE car used to, and we're going to get a really nice run actually out of the penultimate corner. Heading down in towards Sunset for the penultimate time then in this race. We've got to try and unsettle him now. We've got to show the nose, make my intent clear. I won't actually go for anything. We've just got to start, you know, he's got to be spending more time focusing on his mirrors than focusing on where he's going there. Just make sure we get a really good run. Again, brave on the exit of Sunset. We'll swoop to the outside. And we'll try and see if we can get a run back down in towards someone there. He's going to have to try and go brave on entry. Can we try and get a switch back on the exit?
Still there.
I'll try and have a look around the outside through turn 1. It's brave. It's bold. He's giving me the room. But we're going to be on the outside down in towards the next couple of corners as well.
Clear left.
Away. Around the outside we'll go. Thank you very much on the final lap of this race, but it's not over just yet. Ivan will still probably try and look for something again there, but we've got a really nice run out of the first complex. That's so important. Just don't allow him to be within the range to dive bomb us down at the hairpin there. And all that one, I've got the, you know, the blood pumping, the heart rate going just a little bit more. That's what he thinks about it still. They're racing a lot of very, very aggressive people in this race there. And actually, this is P7. So someone else must have had issues, and I'm guessing in the Mikel accident, because we've just gained another spot through it. This result, yeah, well, certainly, as long as I keep it here. Oh no, they've come together behind Ivan. Another aggressive defence perhaps there. Mikel's gone into the side of him. Carlos might say thank you very much. Looks like Mikel's holding on to the place. Well, we might get to see that one back on the incident report once this race is done and dusted there, but it has all been kicking off. Right, so much of this race this evening there. Christian's even made it back through as well. So it is all going down late on in the day here at Sebring. But we've just got to bring it home. I mean, at least it now means we're under a much less pressure through the final few turns. But 4X as well, not too bad going, to be completely honest. Of course, like I said, you know, this is the first of many Sebring races you're probably going to be seeing on the channel over the next few days. Planning on doing the VRS 3-hour endurance with James tomorrow. And then I got the BMW Sim Cup as well on Sunday with Cam. So yeah, plenty
like the
more GT3
Sebring
Sebring action. But round in the final corner though, we are going to come through then for P7. Not bad considering we're the number 28 car, and of course we were P14 on the grid there. Very, very happy with that result in the end.
P7.
Let's go take a look then at our incident report, and then we'll have a look at those final results. Well, the incident's pretty much kicked off immediately there. Lamborghini almost into the back of the Audi in front of him, and 4 wide through turn 1. Unfortunately, the Huracan there is going to be sent to the Shadow Realm, and unfortunately we're not really going to get to see what else happens to them. Ferrari heading out of the final corner. Are we just going to see him slap the wall? Yes, we are. Did the similar to what I managed there. Jacob getting very, very lucky. I think he did get away with that one. The BMW heading through the first couple of turns. Oh, he actually loops it by himself. That's rather interesting then. Does a very, very good job to reverse out of the way. As you can see, even myself there, able to come past him. There we are, look at that. But yeah, very, very odd low-speed incident there in the BM. Another side-by-side action, though. This one, again, is Jacob. Is he going to come in across the Lambo? Oh, there's a bit of netcode involved in that one. But yeah, there is certainly... Well, iRacing thinks there was some contact there. But yeah, both of them, it looks like, again, able to live to fight another day, as Jacob there really is pushing the limits. Again, Jacob clearly has ran wide off at turn 1 there. Does he gather it up? No, gets a wheel on the grass on the other side, and apparently he's trying to do the short layout of Sebring. Not having a fun race so far as Jacob. Oh, Ilya, you can see this might have been how he ended up a lap down there, nicks the wheel on the grass, hits that one sticking out tyre wall. That is rather unlucky. But yeah, clearly I'm not having fun with the connection. So Osvaldo again trying to look around the inside. Oh, locks the rears there, takes the Ferrari out, and I think that's both of them into the wall. Stefan, are we going to see him do what the BMW did? Yes, we are. Just goes round in a very, very low speed spin. Wave hello to me as I drive past once again there, and another freebie. Just, oh, he's done very, very well to save that one. No, he hasn't, Jacob. He strikes again there. That might have been... I think Jacob might have been the one that got disqualified looking at all that. And yeah, that is bad as day ruined. Just, yeah, completely lost the rear track bar there. And you can see the car crabbing awfully. Gustavo heading down in towards someone. Of course, someone that we were battling with throughout a lot of this race. Oh, actually gets a bit of netcode off the wall of that first corner. But again, I think lives to fight another day. Here is Lubos then. Of course, that wrecked Lamborghini Huracan from turn 1. Hits the wall on the run down towards turn 1. Does he hit the wall on the inside? Just about gets away with that one. Here we go then. A proper battle going on. This must have been the instant that caused Wolf to spin around. Oh, he loses it by himself. And the Lamborghini behind there, nowhere to go. Look how lucky we were. And the Audi behind us does go in and collect him. So that was, yeah, very odd to see cars losing traction through there. as badly as they have been, but clearly people struggling with the new downforce. Gustavo again, back down in towards turn 1, nicks the wall again. He's playing risky with that wall at turn 1. He clearly knows where that wall is and wants to say hello to it every time through. Oh, Barak there down at turn 1 again, just looping it around slow speed instant, and the Merc behind him. I feel like maybe could have done a little bit more to avoid that one, but can, and then that is not the best rejoin. That's even worse. Thomas then trying, potentially getting to the pit lane. No, just loops it around and hits the wall, and that's going to be some damage on the back of that Ferrari. Lubos again, just loses the traction, and he's got an Audi coming up behind him who gets round him. Elia, oh, this was the incident in front of me that just nicks the wall. I think that's caved in. Yeah, you can see that thing then horrendously tracking. That's why he retired from the race. Goes for a nice pirouette as well there, perhaps for start. Here we go then. Let's have a look at what I managed to do there. Way too early on the throttle. We were so lucky. We were so lucky to hit that wall the way we did. I should have probably got damage from that one looking back. Oh, Stephen just nicks it on the grass, and that's all I was talking about early on in the race. That is a face full of concrete wall there as he heads out onto the back straight. Here we go then. What happened to Mikel? Loops it round by himself. And does he try to rejoin? Don't say he rejoins in front of another car. No, does get on with it. And there's the Lamborghini. There's the Audi. And hopefully we're about to see myself fly back past him. As you can see there, Ivan just gets around him. And how close were we then through that corner? No, we were pretty safely. Here we go then. Final lap between Mikel and Ivan. You can see, looks to the inside. Ivan, you can't do that. And yeah, I think, to be honest, Karma might have dished out one there. Ivan, you can't, as soon as that car's gone to the inside, you can't then decide you're going to defend the inside after he's already gone there, especially that late into a braking zone. Yeah, a lot of incidents, but let's go take a look at our final results. There we are then, having a look at our final race results here from Sebring. Split 4, 0.07 SR. I think for 4X that's a little bit harsh. And then 60 iRacing though pushes me back over the 2.2k mark. Very, very tight SOF as you would expect there, 2,299. But yeah, it is Jasper that takes home the win. Who was the biggest gainer in all of that? Peter from behind me was incredibly fast then. 28th to 5th. Of course, 15th to 7th for us, though. Not bad going either. And Carlos as well, just behind me at the start. Just behind me still at the checkered flag there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed. And yeah, we will be back very, very soon with more iRacing content.